Hi there. Welcome to the Attachment Project series, all about attachment. A lot of people who knew me in the past would probably say that I was never a relationship person, that I was a lone wolf and not to bother trying for a relationship with me because I came across as a little self-absorbed. I guess I understand why these people would say as much, though. I have had relationships in my life, but they were pretty brief. Anytime someone tried to get close to me emotionally, I just felt, massively uncomfortable. If previous partners wanted to spend time with me, I kind of thought that they were being a bit clingy, and I would avoid them for a few days. Even with friends, I disliked when people became emotional about their issues. I always saw it as a bit cringy and embarrassing. I guess other people noticed my responses. After all, I've been called cold and aloof more than just on one occasion. The thing is, although I've always built walls around myself and struggled to let people in, at the same time, deep down, I often fantasized about being in a loving relationship. Being loved and accepted by someone just felt unattainable, a concept that only works for other people, not for me. Then, one day, as an undergraduate, I came across the concept of attachment, and especially avoidant attachment. To say that the pieces of my life started to fit together like a jigsaw would be an understatement. I have an avoidant attachment style, and it has affected how I've acted within relationships throughout my life. But the best part was realizing that I can modify my behavior, and so can you. Through understanding and knowledge and professional help if needed, you too can reach secure attachment. If you think that you might have an avoidant style, or are curious about your attachment style in general, then you can take our free quiz and have your results back in a matter of moments. Through knowledge, understanding, and self-work, I'm at a stage in my life when my avoidant attachment no longer dictates my feelings and actions. I want this for you too. Throughout this video, we will talk about how the avoidant attachment style typically forms, as well as how it may have impacted your life. If at any stage you feel like the information is too overwhelming, then the link below will bring you to a short meditation script. The avoidant dismissive attachment style is one of the 3 types of insecure attachment. It typically forms in the first 18 months of a child's life as a response to the bond that they form with their primary caregivers. The roots of the avoidant attachment style are usually in the child's perception that their caregiver rejects their needs. There could be a number of reasons why a child sees their caregiver's actions in this way, but usually it is because of the caregiver's emotional unavailability. This means that they act aloof or reserved when their child searches for affection, or they don't understand their child's cues, so they don't respond to them in a way that the child needs. Sometimes it's the case that these caregivers don't intentionally reject their child's needs, but instead that the child understands their actions in that way. Nevertheless, the result is that the child shuts down their attachment system. Picture it this way. Imagine that you are completely dependent on one person for food. Without that person, you wouldn't be able to survive because, of course, without food, you would die. When you get hungry, you ask them for food. But what if they only give you a little? Or what if sometimes they don't give you any at all? How do you respond? You ask again. And again, and again, until you're so hungry that you're consumed by trying to get food. But yet, it still doesn't come. Eventually, your body starts to adapt to starvation. Your stomach shrinks, your hormones change, and your feelings of hunger start to lessen with time. You're not even sure how your body would respond to food now. You've learned how to survive. What I'm getting at here is that the same kind of thing happens to children who grow up with emotionally unavailable parents. At first, they strongly desire love and affection, but if they get any, it's sparse. Not nearly enough to satisfy their needs, so their attachment system adapts to this starvation of affection by shutting down. The child has learned how to get on with their life without the affection they deeply crave. Attachment styles are viewed as a spectrum, so you might find that you adapt your behaviors according to the situation and your mood. However, there are typical traits that are associated with the avoidant attachment style. You might find that you recognize yourself in some of the following descriptions. Don't worry if you don't identify with all of them. We're all individual and uniquely different. Your attachment style doesn't define you. People with an avoidant attachment style typically prefer to maintain an emotional distance from others. They may try to pull away if someone gets too close. They are usually uncomfortable with opening up to others and displays of emotion. Often, they tend to minimize expressions of emotion, so may come across as aloof or dismissive. Avoidant attachers are highly independent and see themselves as self-sufficient. They may even look down on others for being dependent on other people. Having said all this, they can still be sociable and have many acquaintances, but they usually find trust, emotional dependency, and intimacy difficult. Can you identify with any of the characteristics I mentioned? Maybe it's only one or two, or maybe you see yourself in all of them. Either way, shutting people out and building too many walls can have a serious effect on your relationships and quality of life. But understanding how the avoidant attachment style develops is only the first step toward changing your beliefs and behaviors. Our next videos will discuss how your avoidant attachment style influences how you act in different social settings, including friendships, relationships, and the workplace. You never know what you might learn, so make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to check out our comprehensive book, Attachment Styles, Ultimate Guide and Workbook, for more detail on attachment and exercises. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.